Before assembling the machine, please organize all the parts. We have prepared all necessary fasteners, and each step is accompanied by a diagram showing the parts. For machine installation, simply follow the steps below to assemble the machine quickly. Step 1. Unwrap the wooden crate and take out the corresponding components. Upright frame assembly and gantry frame assembly. Install the middle connection assembly and connection bracket using bolts, half-round head hexagon socket bolts, flat washers, spring washers, and lock nuts. Step 2. Use the corresponding Allen wrench to loosen the set screws of the base plate assembly, allowing the slide bar to slide downward. Open the counterweight block box. Keep the lower end of the slide bar stationary and tilt the upper end outward. First remove the counterweight head assembly, then assemble the counterweight assembly from bottom to top according to weight size. Use the slide bar to prevent the slide bar fixing sleeve from falling, and lock the set screws of the base plate assembly using the corresponding Allen wrench. Insert one end of the counterweight pin's keyhole into the middle position above the counterweight head assembly. Step 3. In sequence, insert the powder metallurgy sleeve, left swing arm assembly, flat washer, end cap, spring washer, and half-round head hexagon socket bolt into the upright frame assembly. Then insert the link rod into the rotating connection bracket assembly, securing it with flat washers, spring washers, and half-round head hexagon socket bolts. Assemble the right swing arm assembly in the same way and tighten all screws. Step 4. Use the corresponding Allen wrench to loosen the half-round head hexagon socket bolts on the right guard plate and remove it. Insert one end of the steel wire rope assembly into the corresponding position on the upright frame assembly. Route the steel wire rope through the pulleys as shown in the diagram and secure the other end at the counterweight head assembly. The bottom pulley of the upright frame assembly must be removed. During the routing of the steel wire rope, reassemble the pulley once the rope is through. Reinstall the right guard plate. Step 5. Use half-round head hexagon socket bolts to secure the rear guard plate assembly and front guard plate assembly. Use half-round head hexagon socket bolts, elastic washers, and flat washers to secure the water bottle holder to the gantry frame. Step 6. Find the link rod assembly. Insert the spacer sleeve into the middle and use half-round head hexagon socket bolts and flat washers to secure it to the left swing arm assembly. Repeat the same process for the right swing arm assembly. Step 7. First remove the screws from the bottom of the horizontal tube at the top of the upright frame assembly. Then insert the chest cushion adjustment frame into the corresponding position on the upright frame assembly. Insert the adjustment pin to limit movement and reassemble the previously removed screws. Remove the half-round head hexagon socket bolts, elastic washers and flat washers from the upright frame assembly and middle connection assembly. Install the foot pedals, then reassemble the half-round head hexagon socket bolts, elastic washers and flat washers. Note: the bolts connecting the intermediate connecting assembly and the upright frame assembly should be pre-tightened. Step 8. Find the chest cushion assembly and seat cushion assembly, securing them in their corresponding positions with half-round head hexagon socket bolts, spring washers, and flat washers. Check and tighten all screws. monthly. Check all assembly bolts and retighten them. Shake the product and, if wobbling occurs, adjust its position or foot pad height. Weekly. Check all rotating parts for smoothness and freedom from abnormal sounds. Ensure the steel wire rope is taut and the counterweights are not suspended in a stationary state. Check the functionality of the pin assembly and tighten it. Apply silicone oil to the slide bar and bearing rotating parts. Use the product normally to ensure all functions are operational. Daily. Check the wear and damage on stress parts, such as the steel wire rope, pulleys, and counterweights. Ensure the steel wire rope is not derailed. Inspect the product surface for peeling paint, leather aging, softening, label peeling, surface damage, and replace as needed. Wipe the product surface with pledge. Remove the right guard plate and rear guard plate. Loosen the screw cap on the counterweight adjustment rod and remove the steel wire rope, along with the screw cap and rubber plug. Remove the pulley at the bottom of the upright frame assembly. Route the steel wire rope through the remaining pulleys, ensuring the flat-headed end of the wire rope is positioned properly. Detach the connecting component, securing the flat-head end of the wire rope, and remove the wire rope. Take a new steel wire rope. First secure the flat-headed end of the wire rope at the corresponding position on the upright frame assembly. Then route the other end through the pulleys and connect it to the counterweight adjustment rod. Reassemble the pulley that was removed after the steel wire rope has passed through its position at the counterweight adjustment rod. Insert the steel wire rope through the screw cap and rubber plug, then into the groove on the counterweight adjustment rod. Use the screw cap to secure the steel wire rope. Adjust the tension of the steel wire rope by adjusting the length of the counterweight adjustment rod. Finally, tighten the counterweight adjustment rod using 2M12 nuts. Reinstall the right guard plate and rear guard plate.